Hello guys, welcome to distance learning classes. Today is Friday 13th of March 2020. Today we'll be doing writing and language. That would be from the Reels book. That's test 2017 October on page 600. And the objectives of this session as usual is to dissect the writing and language passages, mastering the skills and beating the time. This is Mr. Walid Al-Halawani talking to you. The most important thing that we have to do whenever we're dealing with any writing and language passage is to read the title, because it gives us an idea about what the passage is talking about. The title says the net effect of online journalism. So we understand that the passage will be talking about the effect or the impact of online journalism. Great. Since this part is underlined, we get to understand that it's going to be asking us about the main topic of the paragraph or the main topic of the passage. You are highly recommended not to answer such a question unless you do have an idea what the passage is talking about, so that you get to know what the answer to this question is. Someone might ask me and say, is it necessary or is it okay if we read the underlined part? No, it's not, because you might be affected with it. So that's why ignore it, skip it, and read the part after. And try to collect as many keys as you can through which you get to know what the passage is talking about. Those who want to enter the field of journalism need a new set of skills. Those guys who want to enter the domain of journalism need a new set of skills. Great. Aspiring journalists still must develop the antique skills of gathering information and crafting concise sentences. But with the shift to the internet, new skills have become increasingly important. New skills have become increasingly important. So those guys, the guys who want to enter the field of journalism, the ambitious journalists, they still have to develop these skills of gathering information and crafting concise sentences, short sentences. Well, we can say this is, well, what do we call this? Oh, this is a diction question. A diction question, let me give you an idea, a brief idea, okay, about what the diction question is. Diction is the author's word choice. It's choosing the word that best fits in the gap. Best. This is very tricky, by the way. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Diction sometimes is fixed phrases. Like it or not, you have to take it as is. Here we need an adjective to describe the skills that those guys, the journalists, still have to develop. Okay. But since we have this but tells us that we are having a new idea or a contradicting idea. Okay, with the shift to the internet, new skills have become increasingly important. If new skills have become increasingly important, this means that old skills are not needed anymore. So we need an adjective to modify the skills here by saying that they are old and they are not used anymore. You might say antique. Antique, we don't say antique. Antique means old but valuable. It's old but valuable. Antiquated, old-fashioned, not modern. Outdated, old-fashioned. So B and D are the same. That's why both of them are wrong. Okay, B and D are wrong. Correct. So we have antique skills and we have traditional skills. Traditional means following the same old ways or the same old methods. I do believe that the answer is going to be C. Those guys still must develop the traditional skills of gathering information and crafting short sentences. But if they want to move to journalism on the internet, they have to develop new skills. Okay, that's fine, great. So the answer here is gonna be C. Great, let's keep going. Today's journalists, something wrong here. This is what we call a PGQ, which is pure grammar question. Today's journalists of today. So we just need an apostrophe here. So that's why the answer is gonna be today's journalist, this one. We can say today's in this way, today's S apostrophe, that's wrong, today's no apostrophe, that's wrong, and here we don't have an apostrophe, so A, B, A, C, and D, all of them are wrong. Great. Today's journalists need to be proficient in all aspects of journalistic production, and they need to be ready to engage with their readers, who, or the readers, now provide a constant flow of feedback online. So, we get to know that the journalists of today, they need to be professional in all aspects of journalistic production, as they need to be ready to engage with their readers. Which kind of readers? Those readers who provide a constant flow of feedback online. Correct. Now we can understand what the passage might be talking about. Online journalism, feedback of readers, and whether those journalists are ready or not, whether they have new skills or not, and we are not sure about the new skills yet. So let's try to get the answer to the first question before we forget. Now it's okay to read this choice. With the increasing number of mergers in the newspaper industry, mergers, we're not talking about merging newspapers. No, mergers is wrong, that's why. This one is wrong. Okay, so A is wrong. With more journalism majors graduating every year. Related, I do believe it's related. With the decline of reading in today's culture, decline of reading, no, we don't have any mentioning of decline of reading or in reading. With the majority of news articles now appearing on the internet, we get to understand that articles are appearing on the internet, but nothing is mentioned about the fact that these articles represent the majority of the articles. No, we still have the newspapers there. The kind of newspapers. So the majority here is what we call extreme answer. This is an extreme answer because it's not mentioned and it's not even insinuated. So that's why this one again is wrong. So I do believe that the answer is going to be with more journalism majors graduating every year. Those graduates who want to enter the field of journalism. Yes, logically speaking, this one fits because it's talking about people graduating from journalism, and in turn, they want to enter the field of journalism. And. Great. Let's keep going. Because the internet is an open space in which an unlimited number of stories can be published, content must be generated quickly and constantly. The question says, which choice most effectively sets up the information that follows in the next sentence? Well, this is a very, very important question. Here is asking me about some information setting up, okay, the part that follows. Well, to answer such a question, you need to know that understanding the question is halfway to the right answer. How's that? Because the question tells me which part I need to concentrate on. It tells me sets up the information that follows in the next sentence. Great. Question number four, that's the end of it. Where is the next sentence from there up to many? So that's the part I need to concentrate on so that I can put, or I can answer this question, which is 4. The only place I can go to is this sentence, according to the instructions mentioned here. Well, let's read and find out what this sentence is talking about. The new pace of journalism means that one reporter is often asked, something wrong here. The new pace of journalism means that, why do we need the comma? That can never ever be preceded by a comma or even followed by a comma. That's why the presence of the comma here is wrong. So I do believe that the answer has to be this one because we don't have a comma. This one we have a comma after that, wrong. This one, which is A, before that, which is wrong. A colon, wrong. We don't need anything. Okay, the new pace of journalism means that one reporter is often asked to take on tasks that used to be distributed among many. Okay, pace of journalism means that one reporter is asked to take on tasks that used to be distributed among many. We can understand that the sentence is talking about being fast, being quick, doing something that others used to do. And these things will be done by just one reporter. They used to be done by many, but right now they're going to be done by one. since many used to do these things, so they needed time, for sure. But this one, I don't believe that he will have the same time, so he needs to be fast. Now let's go back to the sentence here and find out. Because the internet is an open space in which an unlimited number of stories can be published, content must be generated quickly and constantly. I do believe that this is the answer without reading these, but we still have to read B, C, and D. Let's keep A in mind. It's important that the reporters check their sources carefully. Check their sources carefully, it's not mentioned. Online security is a major concern. No, we don't have this. Reporters may not receive credit for all their work. No. It's just talking about how fast this one reporter should be when taking tasks that used to be distributed among other reporters. So that's why the answer has to do with being quick. Okay, the content must be generated quickly and constantly. That's why the answer is A for sure. So easy, by the way. Okay, now let's keep going. The shift to online publication allows one reporter to, I do believe, do a number of things: conduct research, collect pictures or create graphics, writing an article, edit it, and lay it out on a computer screen. Conduct, collect, edit, lay, logically speaking, write. No need, it's easy. Someone might ask me and say, to write, why don't we choose to write? Because we don't have to here, and we don't have to here, and we don't even have to here. The only two is here. But in the other verbs, the first verb, conduct, collect, edit, lay, and logically speaking, write. So, okay. One more time. Let's concentrate because it's very important to understand what you're reading. It's not just a matter of reading. The shift to online publication allows one reporter. Oh, these are the kinds of things that he needed to do, or that he needs to do. The things that were distributed among other reporters. Conduct, collect, write, edit, lay. Okay. Lay it out on a computer screen, all without leaving his or her desk. Without leaving his or her desk, that reminds me, that rings a bell. Do you remember sedentary? That vocab word we took recently. Sedentary job means a job that can be done while seated. So the guy is not going anywhere. He will be doing all these things while seated. Okay. This phenomenon has been labeled multi-skilling, and it is now a central feature of the work many journalists do. We can understand that a journalist needs to do lots of things instead of doing just one thing as in the past. And this multi-skilling is a central feature of the work. One survey, in fact, revealed that as many as 60% of journalists in Sweden considered multi-skilling to be central to their work. Central feature, central to their work. In addition, journalists may be expected to 1. Keep blogs, 2. Use Twitter or other forms of social media, 3. Compose lists of additional reading recommendations, 4. Provide behind-the-scenes videos, or I do believe that this question is going to be asking me about something parallel to these actions or supporting example. Which choice gives an additional example? Yes, that's it. That is most consistent with the examples already provided in the sentence. These ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one more time. The journalists may be expected to keep blogs, use Twitter, compose lists, provide behind the scenes, or record interviews with people profiled in their articles, guarantee the integrity of their publications, write several new articles a day. No, this one is wrong, right? Because they already write and they need to do things apart from writing or aside from writing. Get out of the office to meet new contacts. Get out of the office. This is totally opposite to what has been mentioned in here. All without leaving his or her desk. So D is wrong as well. guarantee the integrity of their publication. I don't believe that this one is parallel to keeping blogs, using Twitter, composing lists, providing videos. The only one that fits is recording interviews with people profiled in their articles. This is the only one that could be parallel to these actions. And C is wrong as well. Correct. Those looking to enter this field should be encouraged to develop these particular skills, for sure. Okay. Similarly, prospective journalists, promising journalists need to, we're not sure, which choice best sets up the information that follows in the paragraph. So we have to concentrate on the whole paragraph. Do you remember when we were asked to do or to support, where? Yeah. When we were asked to choose that most effectively sets up the information that follows in the next sentence. All we needed to do is to read the sentence and only the sentence through which we can get the answer. The question here is asking us to read the whole paragraph because that's what's mentioned in the question. Okay, let's find out. This is 8.8. Similarly, prospective journalists need to. Should we read this? No, we shouldn't. In the online world, that feedback, where is it? That feedback. No, we don't have that feedback. We don't have feedback mentioned here before. Whenever it comes to this, that, these, those, we need to ask ourselves, these refer to what? That feedback, which feedback? It should have been mentioned before so that I can say that feedback. So logically speaking, this sentence, the underlined sentence, should have contained the word feedback. Okay, similarly, prospective. Let's continue reading first and then find out. Okay. In the online world, that feedback is instantaneous, immediate, and interactive. Instantaneous and immediate are the same. This is a redundancy question. Redundancy, unnecessary repetition that we don't need. Choose the shortest. Yes, this one. For sure, instantaneous and undelayed are the same. Interactive and reciprocal are the same. So A, B, and C are full of redundancy. Instantaneous and interactive is the only right answer. So that's why the answer is D. And this is a very easy question. One more time. In the online world, that feedback is instantaneous and interactive. Readers comment on articles and then other readers respond, adding comments to those already provided. Comments. Okay, repeat it twice. Journalists must be adept at dealing with this kind of layered feedback. Especially as many online news sites track data. Online news sites. It's not written this way. Site. The website, the College Board website, Khan Academy or Khan Academy website. Site is not, it's S-I-T-E, sites, this one, sure. It's an easy one, sites. Okay, especially as many online news sites track data related to comments, and avoid the kinds of articles that do not generate discussion. Therefore, journalists must learn how to write stories that will captivate readers and generate comments without pandering to what readers want to hear at the expense of the facts of the story. We get to know that there is some sort of interaction between the journalists and the readers through the readers' comments, through the readers' responses. So, and the word feedback is a must here. Now let's find out which choice sets up the information that follows in the paragraph. Similarly, prospective journalists need to keep up with the latest developments in technology, not mentioned. Know how the landscape of journalism is changing, not mentioned. Be concerned with feedback from their peers, mentioned. Peers, no, not mentioned. Be prepared to deal with feedback from their readers. Yes, readers. This one is right. feedback, but hear from peers and hear from their readers. So that's why this one is wrong, although it was the closest answer, and D is the right answer. Great. Okay, that was an easy job. Multi-skilled journalists can have more control over the entire look and feel of there, for sure. Journalists there. I'm talking about journalists. Their stories. So the answer there is this one. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much. See you. Bye bye.